Snailpiss, welcome. I'm Fabel, your host with the Mo's, kinfolk of the cousin of Casper the Ghost. I really don't know what that means, but I like saying it. I'm here with the lovely Yamira Zaire. She's from Scottsdale and Ahwatukee acclaimed, Phoenix as well. How's it going, Yamira?
Good.
You can catch her on the White Clan. They got a release coming sometime around February, soon as the lazy engineer gets that mixing done. And she's on there with a lot of her siblings. And it's good to have you back. You were on my first podcast when we were running around the Tempe trains and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then we got High. You remember High earlier, our early December episode of Shed Talk, which was our first one. In the Shed, we are going to have a lot more of those coming at you. We want to do this weekly. And good to have you, High. How you been, man?
Been chilling.
Anything going on for the new year?
Not necessarily. But all I can say is we're making improvements and yeah, just on our way. It's the first, the journey has begun.
His mic sounds really good.
Yeah, mine's low as hell.
Turn it up.
You
That's
know-
the speaker right there.
She's low. That's just her. We can hear her.
I'm low too.
She's like a smooth operator. That's how you marry talk.
With him.
That said,
Like a pimp.
Yeah.
now I know you guys don't like when people go on their phones, but I got some stuff on here and I want to be a little more organized on this one. So bear with me. Alright, blog topics. Look at that. We want to do a 2022 recap. It's about to be 2023, people. Aren't you excited? You should be. If not, I don't know what to tell you. But that said, 2022. There's a lot of stuff that happened. I'll set it off. I was upset with the Young Dolph killing. FBG Cash. I like both of them. You know, what's up? That Dolph comes out of a cookie store and gets gunned down. But I thought that was messed up. Like, you should be able to have your cake and eat it too. Or your cookie, in that case. And he was a dope Memphis musician. Rest in peace, Dolph. We'll always remember you and
Did you
cherish
hear
you.
his last song?
What was his last song?
Basically, there's no conspiracy or anything, but he was saying, like, the first lyric was, "If I sacrifice myself, will I go to hell?"
Oh, yeah. I heard
Like,
that song.
In the trap house counting guala, talking to my scale, that song.
Yeah.
But no, there was a lot, and like in the video, he's putting up the Illuminati sign. It's all this devilistic or whatever the fuck.
So,
the word is.
you think someone had him killed?
I think that's maybe a part of it because you see that symbolism everywhere. Like especially people or artists who just go missing, they can never talk about shit because they're gonna die. And even if they did expose everything, like it's not gonna get put out. So and it's really hard to like. And even look at Andrew Tate. He gets canceled for just speaking facts. Like it's crazy.
Well, since we talk about cancel, Mr. Kanye
That too.
got piled on this year.
I don't know about Kanye though. He's kind of he doesn't articulate himself the best where he relates to like a mass amount of people. It's some people who are like, oh, I kind of see what he's saying, but they don't really know what the fuck he's saying.
Well,
At least me.
He
That's
goes
how I
all
feel.
over the place, but I still believe in freedom of speech, and I don't think he harmed anybody.
Nah.
I mean, you know, it's just words. And
He's an influencer.
what do you think? It seems like everyone gets offended nowadays.
Yeah.
Love you though. Hey, so what do you think about Kanye and the reaction he got? You think it was warranted, the cancellation?
I didn't really follow that whole thing. I only heard about a few tweets. I think he's a bit extreme with how he's wording his stuff. So I get why people are upset. Because
Yeah.
especially if you're an influencer, you gotta watch your words. And
Why?
you can expect hate.
Why?
Because everybody's gonna hate on something.
But think about it. Even if you are deemed crazy as society, like why can't freedom of speech and inclusivity and all this shit is being able to say what you want to say, regardless of if the majority of society doesn't agree with it. Even if it's some fucked up shit, like whatever it is, like don't you have the right to have a voice? Even if it's like if people are on board with it and you're influencing people, why should they be canceled because they're influencing them to think in their type of way, and they're just, you know, pushing that onto the crowd rather than there's a certain type of way to be, which is never a fine line. It's always like unclear.
Just because he's
what are the rules? Like, what can we say? What can we do? What can we not do? It's ridiculous. Like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We're free human beings.
Well, can we though?
We can, but there's consequences for everything we do, or
yes,
outcomes. But why can't we express ourselves? That's not a crime.
Okay, but
what's a crime is like hurting other people and killing other people.
Back to the Kanye situation, because that's what
I haven't
you were wrong.
tuned into that. I don't even know about it.
I barely know about it. But he is given the right to say what he wants. Obviously, that's why people are so upset with him.
If they think he's crazy, he's just a celebrity. If it was me or you saying this, no one would care. They wouldn't give.
I don't hate nobody.
Yeah, let me just chime in real quick too. I don't give a fuck if you're gay, transgender, anything like that, a feminist, whatever the case. Just don't force it down my throat. Honestly, I can have my opinion about y'all's movement, just like you.
What do you mean by that? Forcing it down your throat. What's an example of that?
It's just like propaganda in a way. It's like that's what's being pushed in the media, and I'm glad to see recently there's a whole bunch of backlash to it, where there's people defending it and saying, nah, like especially with like the feminist movement saying like men are trash, the wage gap, all this other bullshit, and women are oppressed. How? They're more empowered today than ever. Like, no one's oppressing them. No one's misogynistic. No one hates women. It's just this thing where they demonize men for what? So men are building this country. It's not a thing versus men and women. It's like we need to work together. Like, yes, men have problems. And there's certain things about a modern society that create these problems because we don't have to be strong men. And they don't have to be strong women. It's just like we live in privilege. We don't live in the fucking jungle and have to hunt for shit. So it's like, so of course, our lives are easier, and there's going to be weaker men. There's going to be less attractive men. So naturally, women are going to gravitate towards like this top percentage of men, but it's not like good for society and families and shit, which is fine. No man is saying, oh, I'm a loser and I deserve a bad bitch. Fuck no. But at the same time, most of these women, you're not including this, Yamara. I haven't talked to you about your beliefs and shit on this stuff. I was going to ask you in a minute. And I want to give her a chance to speak. But I just think it's delusional. I just think it's coming from like ingenuine place, if that's even a word. Like, yeah, they're angry at something, but it's not like they don't even know what they're fighting for. And then the men too, we're just a product of our society. Like, I'm not wording this the best, but like we're all a product of our society. It's not men's fault. It's not women's fault. It's both of our fault, and it's just how it is. Like, we need to be more accepting of each other and of society. It just is the way it is. We need to adapt to it instead of complaining about every little negative thing. People are dying every day. There's all kinds of like shitty things in the world. Why are we focusing on this one thing? Because we're privileged.
You see what you started, Kanye?
We wouldn't be talking about this shit.
What do you think as a female? Yeah, I really didn't want to get into this, but since we're stepping into it loosely, do you agree with that?
If I wrote it out, I could articulate it better, but
I'm not gonna go on a huge rant. But
just say what you think. There's no judgment.
As a society, or at least in America, we are a bit privileged, but we already have lived this way before. So, like, what we consider hard is still hard nonetheless. You know how they're like, oh, just because somebody has it worse than you, it doesn't
right. And I get that.
Yeah, discredit it.
No, that's a good point. And we are privileged. I think about the Ukrainians before Russia attacked them. They were shopping in the mall, and they adapted Western philosophy. Yeah. You know, because we're nonchalant about things like that.
But you don't.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I get both coins. She's saying is like.
Well, but maybe my view is different because I actually am a female who's lived in this world. Not only a female, but a black female.
You told me once, you'll never know what it means to be a woman. Remember that? But
yeah, it's rough.
As a man, or like?
No, that was her take. So what would you? You are a woman, and so what are you saying? It's counter to what he's saying.
I can't agree that because you said that you're being oppressed. How? Not to like bring up very serious topics because I don't really want to dig deep into that because I feel like we'll get nowhere.
Well, this is a 2022 wrap up, but this is part of what went on.
But
okay,
I'm just saying the wage gaps; those are actually real. Women do get paid less than men in a lot of shit, especially sports and shit. Which I guess sports makes a bit of sense, but
So does it make a bit of sense? Because someone like Serena wasn't paid the same year. She was the most watched tennis athlete.
Exactly. So in some ways, I'm like, it doesn't make sense because they're working just as hard as the men.
And I think the most wins. I think she had more wins. I could be wrong with that, but I think in the modern era, at least, she had the most wins. But, okay.
Okay, but let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, shit like that, especially lately, which I just said I don't want to bring this up, but I'm going to because it's sort of like relevant to the situation or the topic we're talking about. Literally, we just got our abortion rights taken away. So
that's true.
I will
not every
admit,
state. It's just
that's true.
I know what you're
well,
saying.
not everywhere.
Yeah.
It depends on the state, but yeah, that's
but
true.
we still got
That's not a good
away.
thing. Trust me. No, I'm against that totally.
And lately, especially with again. Not trying to dig deep into this either because everybody has different beliefs. I have my beliefs. I'm pretty set in them. I feel like it'd end nowhere if I talked about it. But especially with like rape shit going on and stuff, they're like, it's a woman's fault, you shouldn't dress like that. Shit like that, I don't know. And I don't know how it is for you guys, but like growing up as a female, I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's been super fucking hard. Especially because part of it's because I'm black is the reason why I face some shit, but yeah.
That's true too. That's true too.
I feel the oppression, and it's like, I understand why people are fighting for it, and I don't really know, I haven't like caught up on all the news, but in my perspective, I don't think women are fighting just against men and being like, you did this. For me, these are just my beliefs. I don't think they're fighting against men. I think they're just saying like, because like, hey, it's all of us. I'm just
kind of like a Black Lives Matter thing.
Because everybody blamed it on the organization, and they were like, oh, they did riots, they did this, this, and that. That's not really what we're saying with that.
Yeah, the movement had nothing to do with black people. And so that's a good point.
I feel like there are extremists, and there are people who are just trying to bring both sides together. I do get the extreme sides. There are extreme feminists.
And that's what I'm talking about, is the extreme feminists, as well as the extreme men who...
Yeah, misogynists.
No, I wouldn't even say misogynists, because what about the women? Aren't they misandrous for saying men are trash, men ain't shit? You know what I mean? That's not feminism.
Is that the opposite?
That is anti-men. That is anti-human.
That's not what feminism is.
That's not what it is. It's always been about equality, but what can you name today where women don't have equal rights? Like, no man is out to get women. Like, it's the shit y'all are arguing about.
There are some men out to get women.
Of course, but there's women out to get men too.
There's women out to get men too.
Exactly. It goes both ways, and it's not...
The abortion rights is real. What do you feel about that?
The abortion thing?
Yeah.
I don't really have an opinion on that, to be honest. Like,
well,
I think people should have their right to choose as a woman, like whether to have the child born. But they're arguing men should be able to take away the right to, pay child support if they don't want that kid. Because it's the same with the woman not wanting to have that kid, and the man might want to have it, but she don't want to have it, so she can abort it. It's her body, her choice, which is fine. But men shouldn't have to necessarily pay for that. I don't support it. It is what it is. Like, child support, if I had a kid out of wedlock and, like, I got to raise it, whatever. If I abandon it, then, yeah, I'm paying child support. But what if the woman doesn't even want you in her life after that, and you have no choice but to pay child support? It kind of fucks you up. Like, imagine having to pay child support. That fucks your finances up a lot.
That would.
Rather than being in that child's life. And
not only that, Arizona went through... I won my court case. And winning just means splitting, really. And also, Arizona realized that if you take the father away, or even if you give him consequences, then he removes himself from being a parent altogether, parental roles. And so they did a HB law to reintroduce the father, and I came under that wave and ran a strong argument. But I will say it's convoluted, and I also will say that this is a future topic. We are not going to discuss this in detail today, but we are coming back in the new year, and one of the episodes we want to address is toxic feminism. We want to have more women present and not just be men over more men than women. We kind of want to even the panel out. But okay, so 2022. We mentioned Kanye. Look, Kanye. All of this came from the Kanye talk. Andrew Tate, he's another one that was controversial. And he just got arrested recently. And I don't know the result of all of that, but the charges...
Bullshit.
Is it bullshit?
Yes, he got out today and addressed every single thing. And we already knew, like, before they were trying to attack him.
It seemed kind of funny, but...
It's just, bro, you could just see right through it if you're really tuned in. Like, and not even Andrew Tate, like I'm dick riding him and he's my fucking master or some shit. He just makes, like, he's entertaining. He's a good content creator. Why shut him down? Why him specifically and not, for example, not to make it men versus women, but like, there's other channels I've seen with women specifically. It's just hatred towards men, and it's the most like nastiest shit.
Well, I like Tate, but I can see how women wouldn't like Tate.
No, how shitty towards fucking men are, and they don't get no repercussions.
Well, no.
So that annoys me. And not
like,
only women, but other people, other men too, who create just whatever that is might be inappropriate for children to see. That's their whole premise is like, oh, he's spreading toxic masculinity, misogyny, blah, blah, blah. A lot of men nowadays, bro, if you look at society, they're lost as fuck. And they need guidance. They didn't have fucking the perfect parents. And I don't think anyone does, but they need it more than a lot of people. And we're down bad as men. So I think people like Andrew Tate are good examples. So and the feminists see it the opposite way, but they just want control. They don't want to be equal to us. They already are equal to us. They want to be superior, and it's all about fucking power.
I'm gonna cut in real quick.
Go ahead. I'm gonna shut.
This is good.
Just because I know the thing around Andrew Tate is huge. First off, I don't listen to him at all because I personally don't like him.
I can see why you for 2 seconds.
Is it gonna be actually 2 seconds? Though?
Yes, it's gonna be like 3 seconds.
Okay.
People form opinions about certain things where they just have like this emotional hatred towards, like they'll ask people on the street if they like Andrew Tate and they'll have like this disgust for him, this person they've never even met. It's just a random dude on the internet and they can't even explain why they don't like him. It's literally just like programming.
I'll explain.
Go ahead.
I feel like just like you brought up extreme feminists, which really that's not what feminism is. If they're just saying I hate men, yeah, that's not feminism.
I don't think so.
I feel like for us, at least as a female, what he says about females, I feel like he's also extreme on that side. Just like I said, I don't listen to him because after the first few things that I've heard, I was just like, okay, this dude's wonky.
But was it like triggering to you? Was it like, how dare you speak on women in such a way? It's like, honestly,
I just couldn't agree. Honestly, I feel like...
What don't you agree with?
Like his whole...
Just give one example. I don't need you to fucking...
Isn't he the whole alpha male thing? And isn't he the whole, women should be like this? Isn't I feel like
he's encouraging men to not be weak. And
you know what,
I feel like we have different
wouldn't appreciate Andrew Tate.
Because I feel like...
But I do. And just like you wouldn't appreciate Kevin Samuel. I sent my aunt, she's older. What? Baby boomer. I sent her a copy of Kevin Samuels to make another point, but she was like, oh, I get your point, but I don't like that guy. You know, and...
Yeah. But for me,
it could be beliefs set in beliefs that are, like you said, triggering a dislike. But if I'm a woman, I can see. Yeah. I mean, if I'm looking at it from a female's perspective, I can see why it would be distasteful.
Yeah.
Because it's very sensitive right now. Okay.
Wait. Let me finish.
Go ahead. Finish.
For me, just about him. Because like I said, I really don't listen to that man. I don't even follow up on his shit. But
that's fair.
I feel like he sort of brings up like traditional standards for men and women, and it's different now.
It is traditional.
That's what I think.
It is traditional.
I think he's a very like traditional person, which that's fine for you in your own life, but
because they're saying that we're becoming emasculated now. Yeah. So that's why he's going back to the traditional.
And I just don't think, me personally, I wouldn't want those roles back because I'm not going to stay in the house. I'm not going to cook and clean and shit. I like my voting rights. And
I get that. You remember, but what do you want to do? Like, if you had a husband and he's paying all the bills,
but he wouldn't pay all the bills because it's a modern world.
But
now.
That's what they want.
I make money. I work at a job. I would be paying bills with them.
But
it's just different.
You're kind of rare though, and it's
I
for you.
don't think so.
But no.
Maybe
I see all kinds of shit all the time. They want a super top tier man who's making all this money, who's very charismatic, who's very charming, and everything like that, which is fine. But there's things that come with that, like infidelity. They're not going to be committed to you because all these hoes want them. Just like a woman who's young and attractive, all these dudes want them, but once they get older, dudes start to want them less. So once dudes get in their prime, which is later, when women get in theirs younger, Then all these hoes want them and they want to fuck around. Whereas before, y'all didn't want the nice guy. You wanted the guy who is good with women, and even if he's kind of an asshole, like, you would prefer drama and like shit like that over a scrub at 21, whereas he hasn't done shit for his life.
There are people who have these standards, and if they want to live their life like that, cool. If you find the right person that also accepts that, cool. But personally, we're around very different people, very different friend groups.
And very different ages,
very
too.
different ages.
Yeah,
the people I'm around, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna have this dude. I don't want a dude that makes all this money, and I don't want him to buy everything for me, and I don't want him to be super nice to me just because. And I don't need him to be super good looking. No, I'm making my own money. Fuck that shit. Mostly, maybe it's because I don't want to rely on a man, because I don't need that. But it's like, I'll do whatever I want.
But here's the thing, Mara. I think that most chicks do want a guy who is at least financially, like, well off, like these baddies or whatever.
Well, if you're a poor man, it's gonna be hard for you to attract a girl
and keep her too.
So internally, and maybe not your marriage, but internally, well, we're talking about social norms. It seems like that females are programmed to look for a certain image of a male, and so maybe that also makes it conflux.
Well, I think it's
confusing.
I think it's because women look for quality over quantity. Men are more meant to, reproduce, spread their seed, meaning like have children far and wide. They're supposed to have multiple children and reproduce and survive. That's the main, things of life. As far as women, they're trying to look for the best guy as far as survival and passing on their offspring with good genes and people who are going to survive. So they want the best kind of guy. It's understandable.
That just sounds a little traditional in
No,
itself.
but the traditional thing works, and it's like women do want a provider. They do want a traditional man. It's just, I think the problem is they're not being traditional women. They want to not be in the house cooking, cleaning, whatever the fuck. That doesn't define it all. It's just they don't want to be a wife, and it's like the guys. Why should they have to pay for everything and be the super top tier guy when it's like, what are you doing? What are you bringing to the table? And all the answers, I know you're not like this, but all this content I see, it's the same type of shit. I am the table. I bring everything to the table, and they don't really name shit. It's just they want to be sugar babies and just move into the castle instead of like you said, pay half the rent maybe. Go 50-50 on shit. If they really want equality in partnerships, that's what it is. It's not me taking care of everything, which is fine. Men will do that. But nowadays, it's like, we want to be equal. Well, okay, then fucking pay half for the first date. But it's expected and it's unattractive if you don't pay the first date, for example.
Do you agree with that?
I feel like that's very generalizing.
But you're saying most women don't want, regular traditional men, masculine dudes.
I do think it's changing.
There are some.
It is changing, but
I think it's changing.
There's some people.
I know
for
it's
men
changing,
too, though.
actually.
It's changing
for
men
men.
too.
It's changing. As an older male, I am more conservative. I just don't attract to everything.
I am too.
And it's because I've been through some hardships in relationships, so I'm really picky. But that's just from experience. If I was a young man, I'd kind of be touchy-feely. It's a different objective, I guess. That's Andrew Tate.
But
you want to
I feel
close
like we're
on
absorbing two different pieces of media here because I feel like with the stuff you're listening to, obviously the content you're going to absorb is going to be stuff that supports that.
Support
the content,
what exactly?
More like machismo, you're saying?
Like girls being like, my man better pay for the first day or shit like that.
I see it all the time.
The content that I absorb, it's different. So I feel like we're just looking at two different sides.
How so?
Because there was a young lady I talked to earlier who basically told me she doesn't trust any men. So,
but they've been hurt though. That's the thing. It's
but
not
she's
normal.
But she's a younger lady.
Don't you have a father? Don't you have brothers and men in your life?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Why do you hate men?
My mother's perspective, my grandmother's perspective, my great aunt, my aunt's perspective would be different than, let's say, my daughter's perspective and their peers. And okay, I just don't want to drag on this because this is a wrap up, and this is a touchy subject, and I think that's why it deserves its own episode because it's a lot of powerful content.
I just want to say I'm not the type of person who gives a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be all PC because it's socially acceptable. I'm gonna say what I truly think on it, and I'm not biased towards fucking men. I'm literally gonna call out men for their shit too, and myself and women. So it's like, I just have my opinion just like everyone else, and I'm gonna speak the truth of what I think. People can correct me. I'm willing to listen. Even to my own sister, I want to listen and get her opinion. Doesn't mean I'm gonna take everything she said as truth. And same for me, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like one of these fucking scared little men, scared to say what the fuck they actually want to say. That's bullshit. That's not, like, you only live once.
I don't think you should be
Imagine
like that.
dying like that.
I don't think you should be
never
like that
fucking
anyway.
said anything you wanted to say.
No, that would be crazy. So, Tate, Kanye, two strong subject matters, and those are both men. Anything happen to women in 2022, or not women, but a female artist or a female fashion designer? Give me something so we could get it off of just Kanye and Andrew. I know there's other things that happened this year. Give me something.
You got.
Like, what was Billie's album? How was it different than her first album? This is a wrap-up, so how is this year's album for her different than her first album? This was a sophomore album, wasn't it? Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
What would you say would be the differences, stark differences? And then I want to kind of get into some other things in 2022, like the killings and things. But
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know she released an album. I do know though, cause like, yeah, you picked the wrong person. I do know though. I listened to her first album.
I don't know if she had an album. I thought she did. She didn't?
I know Taylor Swift did. SZA did.
Taylor Swift always.
Beyonce,
Okay, yes.
Beyonce did.
What'd you think of the SZA album?
It was good.
I thought it was mid. Like, I thought it had some highlights here and there, but you waited so long for the SZA album. To me, it should be a slam dunk, but
A lot of people like it. But
a lot of people like it.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm not her biggest fan.
I'm not her biggest fan, but
I'm a fan.
She is TDE, Kendrick Lamar fame, Absol. What's TDE? I can't think of anyone besides SZA. Kendrick and Absol. Who else? Oh, J-Rock.
No, there's another one too.
Oh, Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q.
Yeah, he's dope. But they haven't dropped an album in a while. Speaking of albums, they've been killing a lot of rappers. I mentioned FBG Cash. FBG.
Oh, you want to get into all the rappers who died this year?
How many?
That's a lot.
Did Pop Smoke get killed this year?
No, that was last year.
That was last year. But PNB Rock.
PNB Rock.
Mo 3, that was last year? Okay, Young Dolph.
Young Dolph, that was this year?
That was this year. I know it was this year.
I know there was more. Gunna, YSR, and Young Thug got locked up. Gunna got out, apparently snitched.
Do you think they targeted?
I don't have an opinion on it, honestly, whatever. Like, I don't know what to think about it. They're both into street shit.
Welcome home, Gunna.
I don't know what to say, yeah. I mean,
what are you supposed to do? Go down for something you didn't do? I don't know about that. That's why, I always do crime by myself.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be associated with people and you
I do
realize if I snitch, I'm going to get 10 years less.
Who's going to snitch on me when it's me?
The recap of 2022, and we were asking Amira over here what she thought about, just whatever she wanted to talk about of the recap of 2022. Shit, we're going to get back to her. However, I said my most valuable, lesson was the fact that I was working at a job and I expected things that I didn't really deserve. Like, honestly, I wasn't showing up and being the person that I probably needed to be. And I left bitter.
That I like.
No, it's self-accountability, though. It's basically saying
most people your age don't do that.
They don't. And
no, your generation, because they want to raise you. Now, this is different between the millennials and the Gen Zs, because they're just entering the work field, whereas you guys been in. I was employed with someone about your age, and they expected the management position. It's like, I said, what experience do you have? Well, I'm taking management in ASU. Did you graduate? Well, I'm taking it, Well, that makes no sense. So accountability is huge, and that's lacking in your generation. Generation.
That's how you even begin to get anywhere far in life.
I had to say it.
No, I heard what you said. It's just, I think, at the end of the day, it comes down to you. If you're not where you want to be in your career or in life or whatever the case, it's on you. No one is going to hold your hand and come to your rescue it sucks that that's the way it is. You can't rely on people to like, they don't care about me. No, you need to care about yourself. You need to make sure that, like, look at Sarice. I didn't even know about his house till months later. He's still just doing what he does, and he's making sure that his life is what it can be. And whether it turns out shitty or it turns out amazing is not my responsibility. And if it turns out shitty, I'm not gonna really care. That's on him. If it turns out amazing, I'm not really gonna care. That's on him. I'm gonna be proud of him. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to a job, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to anything in life, which is why I disagree with all this new age shit, is because there's no accountability. There's no, I'm fucking up. I'm the problem. It's me in the relationship. If this is always the reoccurring thing, it's my fault. And no one wants to do that.
I don't agree that I'm always accountable, but
their egos are too fucking massive.
Well, because my ego can get in the way sometimes. It can.
No, for sure, and that's
normal. But it's funny to hear him say that. You just don't understand how profound it is to hear you say it, because most of your peers don't believe that.
No, and they're too.
They believe that.
You gotta
why
listen
not me?
Sometimes you gotta really the same respect that you want from somebody. Realize they're a person just like you. They want that same kind of respect. It's never gonna be perfect, but try to fucking value the ones who actually deserve it. If they don't deserve it, then fuck them. But I just think people are too entitled, and I've been here too, and I'm still there. I'm still battling with this, but too entitled and too egotistical, where they're not gonna concede to somebody. They're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry for some fucked up shit I might have did. I was wrong." No, it's fuck you. I'm not gonna hear what you have to say, and I don't care. That's been my experience with shit, and it's like, bro, if y'all want any type of thing from anybody, you gotta show it first. And I try to do that, but if it's not given back, I'm not gonna fucking waste my time and like beg you to be somebody you're not. I have never done that.
No, that's the deep point. Accountability, self-accountability. And I guess that's a lesson you took from 2022.
Yeah, but I have a big heart and I let a lot of shit slide. But at the end of the day, it only hurts me.
He really does have a big heart. Yamira, now back to you. What's something that resonated? It could be your friend group. It could be if somebody got married. What was exciting about 2022 for you? Or downtrodden?
Yeah, or the downside.
Yeah, and let me check to make sure we record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
We are. We're good. I don't think we recorded anything last time.
Really?
I'm wondering why this memory now is the same card.
Damn.
Did it Tobias. I'll edit that. But
Either way.
this is the wrap up. It's so good. Back to Yamira. So what's something profound, exciting, downtrodden that resonated for you in 2022?
I guess I'd have to say, like, how different it is after graduating high school.
That's what I'm talking about.
How is it?
How is it?
High school was
Because I don't remember.
brutal, right? But graduating and then after high school, even worse.
Yep.
Did your peer group stay the same? Did you keep in touch with them, or did you develop new ones?
No, I found it crazy because, well, not really crazy.
Because boys don't keep in touch with each other.
Well, some of them. I have one friend from high school.
Not Mario.
Most of us, high school means nothing.
You see what I
job
mean?
means nothing. We're not going to keep in touch with these people.
But women do.
That's not always true.
That's not always true. Okay, that's a generalization.
Yeah, I lost a lot of high school friends, which not really lost. We just don't
keep
anymore.
in touch.
Yeah, so it'll be like sometimes we like.
I didn't have one high school friend that I kept in touch with. Not one.
I have one that I.
Yeah, I
keep
have
in
one.
touch.
I have one.
Well, we know you got one, but
no, even then I barely see him. I see him like fucking once a year or twice a year.
But the one that you talk about is actually someone you're close to. No, for her, it is. Yeah, you know who the one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, that one accused me of sleeping with his girlfriend. So we were friends like you and your friend, and I'm thinking, how could you ever think I would do that to you? Now, if I don't know you, yeah. So, you know, what you gonna do about it? But if I know you, like if it's his woman, everything's off the table. We needed lights that didn't even feel comfortable calling for lights, you know, because we respect boundaries. But it's different for women. Okay, so that's exciting. Graduate high school and transition into community college, right? You an aardvark, or what do they call it? Artichoke?
Artichoke.
Artichoke. From
What are you studying?
Cybersecurity.
Oh my
Security?
God.
That's different.
We're gonna be in
It's rough.
trouble.
No, I'm gonna.
So
be
what
in
is it?
trouble.
Just surveillance?
No.
Like if he had a ring on his door or some shit. That's
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity, ain't it? Or it's deeper. It's like CIA shit.
It's like firewalls and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like
firewalls
that.
and shit. It's
So-
like me protecting your
How
information.
people
like
hack,
hackers.
yeah, white and black
Scammers,
hackers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be a white hacker.
A white hacker.
Well, maybe. I'd be like, okay, I gotta test this shit. And then, yeah, so, like, my teacher was telling me last year, maybe a few years ago, I don't remember, but somebody, like, broke into the SEC, like, network, and they had to shut everything down and shit. I would be the one who would be like, okay, first thing we need to do is shut this down, and then we can figure out where it came from. Because then it, like, cuts off the connection. But yeah.
Yeah, they do Trojans, little things I've heard about through the years
Yeah,
that could
it's-
really screw up. The viruses could really screw you
It's
up.
more like coding.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to you about it off camera, but sounds interesting.
No, there's been some famous ones who actually shut down government entities. And Target, Russia got Target for like, well, they don't know. They didn't say it was Russia, but they suspect Russia for like 300 million or whatever they got them for. That's a deep field. So school and transitioning was big for you in 2022.
Yeah.
Big for me was hearing someone say that Kanye was a house nigga. And I don't think so.
What does that even mean?
House nigga, so if me, you, and High are slaves.
Wouldn't I technically be a house nigga because I'm light skinned?
No. A house nigga was literally, we're in the field picking cotton, and the other one's in the house.
Exactly.
And
And they're typically light skinned, right?
No. And telling, that's just a myth. And telling on the field niggas, they're saying, hey, master, did you know such and such took extra pork chops, or did you know such and such takes long breaks? He don't. Those are house niggas. They snitch on everybody and they kiss up to the master. Okay, fast forward to today. How the fuck is Kanye a house nigga? Now, I granted that George Floyd comment was off the cuff. I don't know what he was talking about, but
What about Charleston White? He's definitely a house nigga then because he snitches on everybody.
Charleston is very
I
controversial.
actually like him though. That's the
I
funny
like
part.
Charleston too. You know who I don't
support it,
like?
but he's funny.
You ever heard Flacco from? I guess he was kicked off for no jumper, but man, his stuttering. And then when he wanted to emphasize a point, he was stuttering and would get loud. He'd go, so you were a gangbanger. Tell us about it. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Calm down. You know who else stutters? And he's big. Academics. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he does stutter.
He does. Dyslexic or something like that?
No.
Maybe a little special needs?
No.
Nothing like that. I'm just wondering. No? Academic, are you special needs? I'm not attacking you, brother. Respect. You ever notice podcasters will say, talk shit about somebody and then go, respect though. Respect is such.
Yeah.
There ain't no respect, nigga. You just said X, Y, and Z. I'm saying nigga too much. But it's usually niggas that do this shit.
I mean, we're allowed to.
That's true. There you go. So school was a big one.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything in fashion change for you? You see a lot more boys wearing flip-flops out here in Arizona? Acting like girls? That's just a me thing.
Yeah, that's a you thing.
But I think white boys wearing sandals is fine.
No,
I think
that's...
everyone else, maybe if
I
they're
don't
like
like
poor
them
Indians or poor Africans going to war in sandals and shit.
Oh,
Because
so
that's all they got.
So
But-
you're okay with... It's the white boys that bother me more with
What?
it.
Oh, really?
Yeah! You look like girls. I'll give you an
I
example.
don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's
I
just
think
their
you can
style.
dress
man.
how you
That is-
want.
that is-
Now-
that's just how they are.
What
That's
I
how
don't
you
mind
wanna
is
express
the...
yourself, and you do you.
I
It's your life.
I compliment guys wearing the nail polish. I wouldn't wear nail polish, but I compliment them. I go up to them and I say, "Hey, that looks good on you," and I really mean that. The nail polish, you want to wear a skirt. What I'm saying about the sandals is, A, we're in Arizona. B, we're not California. You're acting like California. And C, I can't tell if you're a woman or a male from the back.
Yeah,
I actually was like about to whistle and I noticed I was a dude. I was like, oh shit, the sandals do me off. 'Cause you got feminine feet.
The problem is, or what I think is, they don't care about your opinion though, because
No, obviously, because
I'm
they're
just-
rocking it.
Yeah, they're like, I'm
They
just
look
gonna,
stupid with your crusty feet. At least put some lotion on your
And
I feel like
shit.
I
you're
think
saying
there's
that-
both opinions that are allowed to exist. Like, if you don't like it, that's completely okay. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily favor it
But you
either.
don't have
I
to
don't
say
like it,
anything,
and it's
though.
fine. No, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but they could wear it if they want. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
But they
They're gonna
can't.
wear it anyway.
But see, people say that they go, they don't really care what you think, as if you should fit in with the social norm. No, I don't want to.
Change your opinion. You still. Don't
I think
like
it's
it.
ugly.
Yeah,
Ugly as hell.
I don't like seeing feet because I just don't like.
I don't like feet either.
I don't like feet
I
at
don't
all.
like
I like feet.
That's where I come from.
I mean, I when people wear sandals, I'm not like, oh, disgusting
Yeah, no,
choice.
no.
I'm just like, I'm just not gonna look down there because I don't want to see those feet.
What if they got like NBA player feet? Y'all ever seen NBA players' feet?
I'm sure it's rough.
No, they're bad.
Because of
Have
the
you
way
ever
they
seen
got
Shaq's?
the wear and tear on it. Yeah.
They get crammed together and their toes look all funky.
I heard dancer feet are bad too. If you're
Yeah.
a dancer, their feet are real bad.
Yeah.
Because I think Natalie Portman's gorgeous, but she got ugly feet, and that's because she dances.
I also feel like a reason you don't like saying men in sandals is because you like women's feet.
I do love women's feet. I do.
Oh, men's feet are ugly.
No, I'll go even further.
Men's feet are
She
worse.
can have a pretty face, but if the feet aren't cute, I'm done. No, I won't even talk to you.
Psoriasis is the same way. I low-key have to look too. I just have
I
to
look at
I
the
don't
feet.
like it, but
Hey,
I don't
I
necessarily
look at the
love
feet
it.
more than I do the face. I go to feet first. I look down. Ooh. Then I look up. Then if I got a 1-2 punch, it's like, oh shit, I better approach. Hey, that's my wife. I know, but I gotta tell her. The feet's cute. You ever leave this bum? Here's my card. You know, I don't know what to tell you. What? That's your wife? This is my gun. I'm just saying, let's not cross that bridge. But either way, enjoy your marriage, I guess. That's your wife, this is my pistol. I'm just saying, why are we pointing shit out? I got 16 in my pistol, how much you got in your wife? I mean, chill out with that. But anyway, that's another thing. 2022 for me, I was angry. Oh my God, I wanted to pop everything. Everybody was pissing me off on the road. They drive like shit out here in Arizona. They coming. Go back to California. Yeah, I'll say it. Go back. We don't want you here. Florida, Chicago. I go to a game. It's nothing but Chicago people. Bothers the fuck out of me. And they're building like crazy. You don't even have mountains anymore. It's just apartments everywhere. All kind of apartments.
Projects.
Drove me crazy. Made me angry. I don't like noise. Even when fire trucks drive, I find myself doing this. And people say, that could be with you one day. Okay, it'll be me with earphones in the damn fire truck. Because I'm sure it's even louder when you're in that damn thing. No disrespect to firemen and women. Love them. Those are great people. Unlike our police officers, we're not all going to say they're great. Because, there's always this line of misunderstanding between black people and police officers. Why? Because you guys are mainly assholes to us. You stop that, you might not, you might get things to There's just a couple cops that put their feet on your neck. It's not everybody.
I think it's all experience, but can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So, I think I was like 18. I had my older brother's old car, the 95 Honda, the green one.
Yeah.
I had no insurance, no registration. And this cop pulls me over because I'm on my phone, and he's a bike cop, and he looks in and sees me on my phone. Pulls me over, and I gave him the wrong registration. I gave him Psoriasis' old registration from like a couple of years ago. He didn't say anything about it. He didn't press me for the insurance, anything. He just said, you have a nice day. And like, he was cool about it because I was acting
Was
like
he a blind cop?
He was a Mexican cop. He wasn't blind at all. He wasn't blind. That was the bizarre thing. I was like, why would he let me go? And that ever since then, I'm like, you know what? There is good cops out there. There is cops who aren't out to get you. They're not complete dickheads. But I will acknowledge that there are a lot of dickhead cops who act like they're above the law and they hide behind their badge and their gun.
Well, don't be a menace while drink your juice in the hood. That was a movie. Any good movies y'all saw this year? I thought they all sucked.
I don't watch movies.
You go to the movies a lot.
I wouldn't say a lot. Yeah.
Rona and I saw one good. The people who made Get Out. That one. Nope. That was good. Nope.
It wasn't bad, yeah.
Albums. Name. Give me 4 good artists from that you would recommend.
I listen to single songs more.
Sure.
Some of them are usually from the past a lot, but some that were released this year, Mr. Morale and the Big Stuff.
Oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar. Remember somebody was hating on that? We're not gonna say the name.
Yeah,
But
I'm not even like a huge fan of hip hop and rap and shit, but like I'm still a fan, so I was like, all right, I'll listen to Kendrick. That shit hit.
That shit hit. I agree.
That was good.
That was a good one. I wasn't even thinking of that. Anyone else? Give me like 3. Anybody you like, give me a different style. I know you listen to different music. Give me somebody new that they might not have heard of out there.
I just don't have anybody that released this year. I mean, Conan Gray released some songs.
Never heard of him, but okay. He sounds soft. But who else? Conan Gray. Is he like a young dude?
Yeah.
You don't like the BTS group or none of them? I heard they were racist.
I don't really listen to K-pop.
You know they were racist. They refused to shake a black person's hand. Why are Asians racist? That's a different topic. Towards black people.
That.
What's up with that, Tiger Woods?
I do know the BTS people are going to the army though. Because it's like...
Korea, they have to. Good. I hope you get shot. What about you, man? Give me some songs that you, or some groups that you like this year.
Alright, one person recently, it's been like the past month or two. His name is Finesse 2 Times.
I heard of Finesse 2 Times.
He's hard as fuck, and he's straight out of prison.
I watched his interview on $1 Million Worth of Game.
Yeah. He's a real one. I like him.
I never heard his music.
Young Boy, of course.
I never heard his music until I rode in your car.
You should check him out. I mean, he's...
You know why I didn't listen to him? Because of the dirt beef.
I mean, it wasn't even between him and Young Boy necessarily.
It wasn't.
It was him and Quando, but...
Yeah.
You should check out Young Boy. And also, of course, the underground artists I've always fucked with is Summers.
I remember
this guy named TSMBZ, he's in his camp, Desire. All of them boys. I love them. Slay World, that's basically what they're called. Can, you name it. IAs or Jace.
Nice.
I can go on for days.
I enjoyed the Griselda boys, especially West Side Gun. Boom, 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 boom.
They're still putting shit out.
Now, remember, I liked Chief Keef when he first came out with that. This the shit I don't like, right? That was what got everybody hyped. Little did they know that Harlem did drill before Brooklyn and Bronx. And then the Bronx got a bunch of boys. K-Flock was one of the biggest. Dougie, B-Love. And I guess they had some kind of beef going on. I don't really know. I know K-Flock allegedly shot somebody, so... Hopefully that was self-defense because I liked his music, but if it wasn't, then...
You know who Ron Suno is?
Good luck with everything.
Ron Suno?
I've heard of him. What kind of music is that?
He's dope.
West Coast?
Just look him up. It's New York.
I heard of Ron Suno.
Yeah, Ron Suno, I'm sure you're a fan of Pop Smoke.
Yeah, poor Pop.
Yeah, and his whole Wu gang. There's a lot of people from the
the Wu, Fabio Foreign.
Yeah.
Dusty Locane.
Yep.
Who sounds like Pop Smoke a little
I don't
bit.
like him personally.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. Why are you jocking Pop style, Dusty? But much respect to you.
No, he has his own flow. I just think he's whack.
Respect, that's what they say.
Same voice.
Any females you could recommend? If I wanted to start an alternative music collection, who would you recommend? Throw some at me.
Alternative music?
Yeah.
Oh.
You doing the electronica? Because I got into that.
I'm doing sort of alternative, but I don't really know any specifics. I've been listening to Roar lately.
Spell that?
They're not new. R-O-A-R.
Oh, Roar. I've heard of the name.
They're just a group.
You like alternative?
Yeah.
Who do you like?
I don't listen to it recently, but I like one person I can name off top is Claro.
Oh, yeah.
You know Claro?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, I just like that kind of alternative shit, and I write to that all the time.
Really?
Not recently, but I used to do that all the time. Rock and alternative, where it's like an indie type beat.
Yeah, indie.
It's so hard, and like I could just I can harmonize over the whole thing.
Come 2023, we got some punk bands that we're gonna do, and I think there's one that you would like their music. I just recently met him. Shout out to Noah. Hope to talk to you soon, kiddo. All right. Well, I want you guys to be safe for 2023. Hopefully we got this whole damn interview because the first part we talk about Andrew Tate, Kanye West, and a lot of controversial figures in 2022. And as far as the women's movement, and these two individuals had different opinions, and we want to revisit this in a big panel in the shed. The shed is where we really hash it out. Somebody asked me, what is Snailpiss? What would you classify it as? I look at it as messy journalism and music culture. I could say hip-hop music culture, but I'm interviewing some punk musicians, so it's not really hip-hop, it's music. But punk and hip-hop are kind of the same type of rough beginnings for musicians, and then hard to get in that industry. So There's a lot of similarities. The music is totally different though. They don't sound the same at all. But they don't need to. That's what makes them individual. So that's what Snailpiss is. Messy journalism, culture, because we do a lot of graffiti. We got a section called Graffiti Hunters. And in the shed, we'll be talking more about issues where I'll move around and talk to musicians so you can start to feel more of the hip hop and other influences. All right, I want to thank Hi. He's been in, well, he was in early podcast, and a lot of people call for him to come back. So it's good to have him back, and then always enjoy the lovely Yamira Zaire. And we're very proud of what you're doing out there. And she said she don't like hip hop, which is BS.
I didn't say I don't like it.
Because she got her own hip hop on the White Clan album, and trust me, she coming off on that. And she even has a song called Men of Evil, and I titled it that. But dope shit. So that said, we got a lot more to talk about. But thanks for being here. And we'll see you next year. Be safe. Don't get set up. Stay off of social media if you are traveling and posting your whereabouts. Because there's haters out there, you know?
Just stay off social media.
Probably. Unless you tune it in to Snailpiss. We don't want you killed. You matter. You. And those of you who are suicidal around the holiday time, talk to people. And I realize it's tough out there, but we as a people can do better. I don't know if that resonated, but if it didn't, your problem. Peace.